I'm just saying.
Welcome to Two Queens and Crystal Things, the podcast where we are on some manifest your life, shift your mind, and raise the consciousness type of shit. I'm Christy.
And I am Mia. And you can consider us your spiritual girlfriends for the next hour or so.
Clink, clink.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
So, last week, we interviewed Baba.
Mm-hmm.
He is an Ifa priest, and he educated us on a lot of things.
Man,
Actually, like
let me tell you.
Christy and I were sitting up there in class.
Right,
I love it.
we
I
sure
love it.
were.
Absolutely love it. And this started because we were looking for someone to talk to us about Orishas as our listeners. You guys said, we asked you what you wanted to hear about, and we went out and found some experts. So we have some really great stuff lined up for you this season. But back to this one. So, quickly recap. Ifa is a Yoruba religion and system of divination. The practice is available to anyone. Like, seriously, guys, we asked him a lot of questions, and he was such a good sport. And really got down and dirty with us for a second. And we so let us know what you think. If you have a list to it, go check it out.
Yeah.
So, Christy, what are we talking about this week?
Yeah, so this week's episode, we are discussing the power of being present and listening to spirit.
Yes.
And honestly, being able to live this human experience. So, I mean, we talk about this all the time.
Yes.
We are spiritual beings first.
Yes.
Living a human experience
Yes.
second. And so our connection to spirit is really important for us to be able to fully live this human experience, because we get guidance, we get enlightenment. It's like, these are keys. Man, keys. These are keys.
I got the keys.
Yeah. You got the keys, y'all. So listening to spirit will give you the keys to living this human existence. So we're going to talk about that today. And honestly, it can benefit your life. And there's a quote that we wanted to share.
Love it.
No one is deaf as the man who won't listen. That's
because
deep.
I love this. I love this quote. I want to say it's a proverb, and if I want to say it's a Jewish proverb, but its origins are in a Jewish proverb. But I'm sure our readers will tell us if I'm wrong. But I love this because honestly, there's a difference between hearing and listening, and I think oftentimes when we are going through our trauma, we are going through our growth, we are going through our lessons, we are going through our own personal road to Damascus, which is exactly what I'm doing right now. Woo, Mama
She's
is going.
the truth.
I'm for real. You guys, sidebar. When we talk about the journey never ending,
Y'all, it's for real.
that's a very real thing. But I want to make sure you guys understand that it's actually a beautiful thing. You do get to. When you have an enlightenment or an awakening, you do get to another level, and it feels good to be there. But then you realize, oh my God, there's more to this, and that feels good too. So it's not like you're always searching for something. Like, you'll be in a point. Like, I thought I was good. Yeah. Shadow
And
work. Slap that ass.
Right, it's like, oh boo, you thought you were done.
You thought you knew. No.
There's more. We got more.
I'm like,
for
but wait. I
got
thought I
more.
had tongue. No, So, so oftentimes we're in the middle of that, whatever you want to call it. We reach out to spirit. We call out, right? And we're like, help me. I can't see what's going on. I'm about to lose it. And spirit responds every time. But are we actually listening?
Right.
And so let's talk about that, because I think it's important for us because we always encourage people to reach out to your team, your ancestors. But are you taking in the information in ways that you are listening, comprehending, and able to put it into your life?
Right.
And again, I truly believe, I want you guys to think about this as we're speaking. Listening is vastly different and more dynamic than hearing. Okay?
Oh, break that down.
Hearing is, yes, I know what the words that you are saying, I can hear them audibly, and I understand what those words are.
Okay.
But listening is, I comprehend it,
Right.
and I feel and connect it to my spirit and what I have going on.
So listening comes
And I
from
know,
understanding.
yes, it's like listening helps you have a call to action. Listening helps you have a better understanding of who you are in this moment and what it is that you need to move forward. Hearing is my hearing sense works. I heard what you said, but I haven't that doesn't mean I'm necessarily taking it in. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's what this is for. So yes. Let's get into it, Christy. Sorry, guys.
No, that makes
I'm
sense.
my throat.
Look, I'm over here. I went and grabbed her some water. I went and grabbed her some water to help her clear her throat. And she's like, that's what the wine is
That's
for.
what the wine is for. I don't understand what you got going on over here.
So what are we drinking? We are drinking...
Share with the people.
This is a Russian River Pinot Noir.
You guys, I really love the artwork on this.
That's really cool.
Juggernaut.
And actually, for the rest of this month, we have our wine sponsored.
We do.
We'll talk about that once we get it.
Yes, I'm so excited.
All right, so topics to discuss.
Right.
So do you want to go into why it's important to listen, or do you want to go into how to communicate?
Let's talk about why let's talk about why it's important to truly listen when spirit is speaking with you.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, all right, so why it's important to truly listen when spirit is speaking to you. It helps you build a relationship with spirit. Honestly, a lot of this stuff is like building or having a relationship with people.
Yes.
You can't expect to be close with someone if you're not having a conversation with them or getting to know them or spending time with them. It is the same thing with spirit.
And think about it. Just
and your guides.
When you're talking to your girlfriends or your guy friends, people who are close to you, it's like you guys have your own secret language. You can say something and finish the sentence, and somebody from the outside looking like, wait, what just happened? What are you guys talking about?
Yeah, we have a...
Do you see what I'm saying? So having that relationship with spirit, it's the same thing. It's establishing a relationship. They're listening to you because they can feel you. But we as humans have to remember how to feel a conversation as well as hear it.
Yep.
And understand what it means for us. And that's why it's so important. So we establish that connection. This is how we talk to each other.
Yeah. And I think that's something that a lot of people forget, because I remember, like, I've had conversations with people, and even me, it's like, well, I don't hear anything. It's like, well, you have to, this is a relationship that you have to develop and cultivate. You can't just expect to go out with someone one night or meet them in like 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden you guys are just like close. It takes time. It takes like understanding how that person communicates. It's like building a relationship.
You know what? The way I think about when I know I'm in the process of listening to spirit, or that I need to listen, is I feel empty and full at the same time. Allow myself this stillness where I feel empty to take in what I need to, but I'm so filled with spirit. And it feels like it feels like peace. But I'm an empty vessel at the same time.
Right.
So those are my cues, and the only reason I'm sharing that is because I feel like for everybody there'll be a different cue.
Yeah, it's different for everyone.
Right. So that for me, there's like, so that they'll let me know we need to talk to you, like something like what happened with me where my ears would start ringing, or like all of a sudden it feels like I put my ears on mute or something. I'm like, and it's like, and that's when they're like, you hard-headed heifer. I'm trying to get your attention.
Talk to you.
And then I'm like, okay, wait, I need to stop, because it'll make me stop physically, because I'm like, wait, what's going on? And then it's like, I'm trying to talk to you.
That is so
funny. You're not paying attention. Or, the signs and the symbols and stuff like that. But in terms of what happens to me physically, but that is because I've gone in and I said, oh, wait. And when you acknowledge them and say, hey, team, I hear you, I know you're here, you have the right to intervene.
Yeah.
Pull my coattail.
Right.
I gave them permission to pull my coattail. If you don't acknowledge what you have behind you, on side of you, and inside of you to help guide you through these rough times, they can't intervene.
You gotta give them permission. Yeah,
so I gave them permission. So this is how they. When they're like, hey, okay, she's.
That is so interesting. I mean, honestly, I find it so fascinating how all of us connect to spirit in a different way. Mm-hmm. I mean, I do get the ringing. Like I had ringing earlier today, and I was seeing lots of angels signs, lots of angel numbers earlier today.
Oh my goodness.
But for me, usually, like I'll be in the middle of doing something because Mia was just saying, she was like, "You're always doing something. You're always like you do not sit still."
She doesn't sit still, you guys.
But I will be doing something, and then they'll say like, "You need to stop, and you need to meditate." And I'll be like, okay, and I'll stop, and I will go. Like I can hear it. It's like it's very audible. I can hear it. But yeah, I think it's so interesting how everyone is so different.
I think listen. So guys, Chrissy's over here looking at poor Brantley. All he's doing is being a puppy. He is minding his business.
My dog got shots today. Well, you guys know this podcast is raw. So whatever you get is what you got.
Brantley is minding his business, being a cutie.
And of course he wants to play when we start recording. So
golden
later,
doodle.
Not now, later.
Okay, so another reason that's why it's important to truly listen to spirit is because. So think about it so remember we're talking about like a friendship, right?
Yep.
This relationship that you have with spirit. So you know how when you're venting to, I'm venting to Christy. This happens all the time.
All the time.
Too.
Look, we're always venting.
As I'm saying something, I'll hear myself like, oh shit, wait a minute. There it is. That's what I'm supposed to get from this. Mm-hmm. So you need to be able to have that sounding board. So your friends, and then your friends might say, Chrissy will say to me, it's been plenty of times, she'll be like, did you hear what you just said? And I'm like, what? And so having somebody play it back for me is like, oh, damn. All right, I heard myself, right? So it's the same thing with your spiritual team, with the I am in you, with your divine self. It's like they give you a different perspective. So sometimes when you guys, when I say this is so real for me, like ooh,
this is real for me. Like she got books. She got books on books on books.
And I'm talking about even what's going on in my life right now.
Yes.
Standing when you can't see the forest for the trees, y'all. Like, Christy and our homegirl Marja had to come to my house and was like, all right, sis, come on. Babe, you got the, like, I mean, and like healers need healers.
Yes.
I'm extremely lucky to have these women around me that I have. But, but they remind me, like, do you know who you are? Like, girl, do you know who you are? We know who you are. Like, people need to remind you that, like, to go back inside when you can't see it for yourself. Because, again, and I'm so glad you said that at the beginning. We are spiritual beings first. Mm-hmm. This is just a human.
This is a vacation, y'all.
It's a vacation.
This is just
so sometimes with your spiritual team remind you, it's like, wait, hold on, baby. You're who you are and what you are is eternal. But you came here to learn some lessons to grow and to evolve.
Yes.
And so when you're going through that, your team reminds you, wait, calm down. This is a space, a time, a moment. You are like you are a ever evolving movement. Set your ass down someplace.
Yes.
And they're not going to, and then so to give you perspective, and they're not going to do anything to make you feel lost or send you the wrong way. Anytime you feel like, wait, I had listened and you guys said do this, and you went that way, and you got bumped on the head a little bit, that means you were supposed to learn that lesson.
Right. And honestly, like anytime, because you guys, the month of January.
Baby.
The month of January.
Yo, January,
January was trash. January was. And I kind of feel like the dust is starting to settle a little bit.
You know what? Okay, so today's the 3rd. So Venus is finally direct, no longer retrograde. And tonight, Mercury finally...
Is it out? Is it done?
Yes.
Whew, praise the
Lord.
Lord.
A few days of shadow of that, but
praise the Lord.
Y'all, no, it's been one.
It has been one. Like January has been a shit show.
Woo.
But also,
like, to my house and help the girl, because the girl was not. I was having I'm going through ooh.
And the funny thing is, like, all of us that are connected to you have also been feeling it too.
Yes.
Because I was like, wait, what's going on? Why can't I sleep? Why can't I eat?
Wait. Yeah, let me tell you how Chrissy did me, y'all. We at the house. They come over to the house. Maja brings food. They bring supplies. They're like, look, girl, come on. And then so Chrissy's like, I don't know what's been going on with me. So then one of our girls says, you know, you're just feeling what me is going through. This heifer's like, oh my God, I feel so much better.
I did.
Oh my gosh, girl, you good? I was like, really?
I felt like I was out of my mind.
She was feeling like, thank you. So you know what I'm feeling. But this is, so you know what when you allow yourself to, especially when you have like your connections in 3D world, who are connected to your spiritual team, they can feel your stuff. She was like, I'm losing my mind. I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, yes, I know. But when she figured out it was me, she was over it. I'm like, this. She just kept saying it. I feel so
honestly,
much.
so yeah, I did say that. I did feel so much better.
But I'm still here.
But no, that is true. I did feel so much better. But it's one thing to feel your own shit and then feel like you're going crazy, but then it's another thing to feel someone else's shit and feel like you're going crazy, but then realize it's not yours.
Yeah. You're like, whoo.
So, because I couldn't understand, like, I didn't realize.
Like, where is this coming from?
Right, like, I didn't know. I'm like, I'm having these thoughts, like, I'm about to.
Wait, yeah. This is how you know, like, you have real friends. Somebody that can feel how, when you're going through your crazy, they feel it and they still, like, oh, you still my friend. Thank you for being, being a friend.
Yeah. Travel down the road and back again.
Seriously, you guys, so, but that's why it's important to listen to spirit, because what will also happen is, so the reason I brought up the ladies coming to the house is because when you ask for help, it comes in many different ways.
Yep, this is true.
So the help that I needed, they're like, "Oh, sweetie, you got a whole bunch. You got goddesses on your team. Don't worry, we got you." And I didn't say,
got
please,
you, boo.
I didn't say, please come over. They were just like, we need to get this one together, and that's just what you know, when you have good people around you, but those are also spiritually connected people. When I said to the ethers, I don't know what's going on with me. I feel like I'm losing my godforsaken mind. I don't, like, seriously, like, I'm just like, you know, and like that.
She's telling the truth.
Yeah, for real.
Because I felt it.
And she's like, no, I mean, I was right. and I couldn't see the forest for the trees. Yeah. But spirit will give you perception. Mm-hmm. So they're able to come in because, and again, listening to spirit when we're expecting it to come one way. Like sometimes we're expecting the sky to open up. And
right.
Be like,
and the light shine down and little cherubs come down and hand you a note.
Right, no. You know what I mean? But so we have to be open to how, when you ask for help, be open to how it comes to you. Yeah. And I was like, I need help. I am not okay. Like, this is real. I was literally in my house like, I'm not okay. I'm not like, I need, like, y'all help me. And literally within 2 hours they were in my house. Cause I was having trouble breathing. And it's been going on. So
and I could feel that too. I was like, I don't understand why I can't breathe.
So I'm on my way. Open to how spirit responds to you. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. No, this is, this needs to come out.
And it's so funny because we have these topics that we talk about, and then it always ends up that it becomes so on point for what.
Right. It's like, this actually happened.
Yes.
Yeah, but also like active listening, it helps you to build your spiritual knowledge base.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, there are stuff. So I will say, meditation for me has been very helpful for me to connect with spirit. That's not all the time, because there are times where I'll just be driving and spirit will just be like, no, you need to do this. I'm like, okay. But for me, there are times where I will get downloads or I'll get information or something that I need to do. And it was never within my vocabulary. It was never within my knowledge base. I'm just like, I don't know what this means, but
However,
right, it builds your spiritual knowledge base. And the funny thing is, like, we were talking about this the other day. Remember when I went to my school?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I went to school and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what they were telling me. This is what they were showing me. But the same stuff that they were showing and telling me is the same stuff that they were telling you and Maisha. Like, our little group was all getting the same downloads, which is so amazing.
I think it's, I mean, and we'll be honest. So the how we got to this topic is, we know, we're going through this process, and Spirit literally said, can you tell people that when you call on us to listen? Because think about it, you guys, for real. Like, really,
I mean, think about how many clients you've had that are like, I can't hear. It's like, no,
like,
they've been talking to you.
And then they'll go through, like, and then I was walking down the stairs, and something said stop, and I went back up, and there was what I was looking for, and then, like, but then in the same sense, it started off with, I can't hear them. It's because we're expecting to hear with this human ear. No, and some people, that is how Spirit, like, you'll hear something, like,
I
people,
do hear
like,
stuff.
you'll hear, like, oh, but that's not necessary. But you have to understand what you have to be in order to start experience Spirit on so many different levels, right? So cleansing yourself, feeling yourself, allowing yourself to be still. Sometimes it takes a while to get there. So how do you hear Spirit in the meantime? Stop expecting it to look like one way. If the coincidences are, there's no such thing as a coincidence.
Yeah.
Feel like, why do I keep seeing these 4 numbers? Why do I keep seeing, like, look into things that make you pause enough to ask yourself a question. Mm-hmm. Just think for 1 second, man, maybe this is a sign from Spirit.
Right.
And just look it up, y'all. Like, real talk.
And it's interesting because, and I'm sure you can attest to this. So I had a client last weekend, and I was telling her, I was like, everything that you are asking me, you already know. So I don't understand why you're.
Yes.
I don't, because, so this client is pregnant. And so a lot of the information that was coming through was surrounding the baby.
Right.
And the energy of the baby and what she should be eating. And
oh, I love that. I love it.
But she said, oh, well, I was kind of hoping that you can give me information about X, Y, and Z. And I said, well, your guides. And I told her, I was like, honestly, when I meet with clients, this entire sheet of paper is usually filled with notes. It's just this one column, and it's all about the baby. And she said, oh, well, it's funny because I had a reading like a while ago, and they said that your spirit guides have no messages for you because you keep asking the same questions and you already know the answer.
Ooh. Oh, let's get into that. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. Let me preface this. I know better. Okay? So, but no, I'm gonna keep it real because, I want people to know that it's, even when you do know better, sometimes you fall into your old habits, right?
Yep.
So in this process in January, y'all, like where I'm swirling, I can feel myself swirling. So I'm asking the pendulum. I'm pulling cards.
How many readings did you have in January? How many readings actually did you have in January?
First of all, mind your business. No, for real. Like, I'm embarrassed. Like, I don't even mind your business, okay? Yeah, and I do, like, and this is what I'm saying. I know better, but I went there. Like, I'm spiraling, right? I know how to catch myself. But, so, when your spirit team will be like, especially with me, they're like, I'm tired of your shit. like, stop asking me.
Right, like, I'm just not going to answer.
Because we're looking for the validation in a 3D world.
Yeah.
So, and we don't understand that energetically it takes time for things to manifest here in the 3D world that we've manifested energetically. Because to turn energy into matter, that's real alchemy. And I'm a whole motherfucking alchemist, y'all. I'm dead serious. This though,
she's right.
I let myself just kind of go there. So listening like when we asking for help, the simple act of asking for help opens up to us receiving the guidance.
Yeah.
So ask for help, but make sure that when we ask and they start to open up and give you guidance.
Oh my gosh.
Listen.
He is like on 20. I'm sorry.
I think it's hilarious. Or just see him at Kai's store. He's hilarious. So,
but yeah, just having clients like who. So this particular client, she's intuitive. She can hear.
mm-hmm.
And I told her, I was like, yeah. So the reason why you don't have anything from your guides is because they're saying you already know.
Because I've asked you, right?
You've
Like, did it
asked
change
us-
today? Oh my God! But what if this happened? What if, girl? And you know what? I got it. My mama said to me. I talked to my mom the other day, y'all. This is how you know when you in the mental. My mama is a very, very, very wise woman, but she can go. Oh, she can go. And I was like, okay, here we go. I need some of that grown woman, for real.
wisdom,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said to me, she said, stress is the place between what it is and what you want it to be. And she said, if you say you have faith in what you want it to be and what you're creating, you shouldn't be stressed. I was like, damn.
Oh, okay. Let me pick up my face off the
Baby,
floor.
shovels.
Let me pick up my ego, my pride,
Like
everything.
Well, you didn't have to read me like that though, because I'm over here like my mom's not gonna understand it. She was like, let me tell you what stress is. That ain't nothing but the space between what it is and what you want it to be.
Okay.
I was like, yeah. And she said, when you claim that you know what you're doing, that you have faith, and that you walk in faith, you know exactly what's going on, that you believe that you designed this, then what you stressed for? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Y'all heard it.
That is a full read.
Read.
With a lesson.
But right, but
with a lesson.
But when I
it's
think about
true.
my life, like even her, I designed the woman that be in my life because
Isn't it amazing?
Unconditional love,
Right.
100,000, and so, yeah, that's
And
my lesson these
acceptance.
days.
Yeah,
Just
and
in
acceptance.
That's part of the unconditional love.
Wow.
So, listen. So, how do we experience our guides? I'm gonna go a little bit into like some of the different ways we experience our guides.
Yeah.
Like, it's not on there. So, like, that inner knowing. So, I'm gonna go through a couple of ones and tell me if this is, Christy, if any of these are, if this is something you've experienced or, you know.
You know what I've experienced.
I know,
okay.
but we're sharing with the crew.
Okay.
That inner knowing, like that feeling or sense that there's a presence around you. Like a very strong intuition. Like the energy. I'm laughing because I was about to say, because the energy shifts in the room. Yes.
Yep.
And some people will audibly hear, or some people will see guys, but there's a that inner like feeling. When you know you know that it's time for you to sit down, or that your people are in the room, how do they let you know?
So for me, and it's become somewhat of a little joke amongst our little tribe, the temperature in the room changes.
Oh my God!
No, I mean, like, this is for real.
Yeah.
This is for real. Like, because, and it's funny because
Yeah.
our friend Maja was like, I don't understand why she's wearing all those layers. Because she noticed that when we had our gathering, she's like, why is Christy wearing all these layers? I'm always cold. I am always cold.
All the clothes.
One thing about me, I am always cold. So for me, I know that my guides are, and of course this is something that I asked of them because I did not fully trust myself. So I'm like, I really need, and I asked them.
Oh, this is so important. I'm
Right,
so
like
glad you're sharing
I
this.
really need for you to show me that you are here and present so that I know that this is real.
Right. So
They fully change the temperature, not just for me, but for the people that are around me.
No, y'all, it's literally a running joke with us. Like, we'll be sitting around, and it's like, oh, here come Christy's people. When I tell y'all the whole, we can be sitting around, and I can be over in my little corner. Christy could be sitting, like, down at the edge of the couch by my feet, and my feet will be freaking freezing. Because around, you know what I mean? Like, it changes the room. But what I do want us to pause on real quick, Christy, is, again, talking about establishing that relationship with your spiritual team and why it's so important to listen to spirit, because listening also involves communication.
Right.
So Christy said, and I want everyone to know, everybody can do this. Christy said, hey, I want to make sure I'm not
tripping.
So I need something demonstrative to let me know when you guys are here and when I'm listening. And so it's funny because Christy hates being cold. So it's,
ooh, man.
Y'all, Christy is all about that sunshine. She does not like being cold. So it's a joke.
I'm a trans islander. I was supposed to have been born in the tropics.
Her people said, "Oh, okay," and it's funny. So even with, like, I think each of us know when the other people's are in the room. So Christy, like, they know when my people come in the room, like, they show themselves to
where they'll change the entire TV screen. It's like, fuck that music. We don't like that music. This is what it's about to be.
My people come in and so the women around me, my team, my coven, my tribe, they'll be like, oh, here comes me as people. They know when my people are coming in. Yep. Like, we know when other people, like, we can feel when other people, because we established a relationship with our spiritual team, and it's just like, and this is another thing your spiritual team will do for you. You listen to them, they will look at the people around you and let you know who's okay for you.
Yes, this is true. Because
when your spiritual team believes that people are good for you in your circle, they will expose themselves to that people. Your people will know, like, hey, I saw one of your people.
Yeah. And I really try to give you guys a warning before the temperature changes. I was like, they're about to come.
Oh my goodness! I just
grab your blanket.
I mean, no, y'all, like. No, it actually happens. Like, we were running, like, wait, where's my blanket?
No, this is real.
They literally changed the TV one day. We were sitting up there in a whole, we were watching some meditation music, y'all.
They're like, why is this snow?
Yeah, we had some meditation music on. Well, you know, it's just like, just light and all this stuff. And all of a sudden, it was a blizzard on the screen. We're like, I ain't never seen no dang old meditation with a full avalanche. No, where did this come from? Chrissy's people. They're like, we got something to say. Everybody just sit there and take their lesson. We're like, we're here.
With my blanket.
But no, so it was so funny because, no, for Christy had
this is so real. Oh my God.
We can't make this shit up.
This is so real.
Oh my God. I'm trying to breathe. Christy had on a white dress, pants, a turtleneck, socks to her kneecap. I can't breathe. Stop it.
It is so real.
Ooh, they were like, Christy. Shannon was like, okay. I see you. Uh-huh. Ding, ding, ding.
I'm like, look, I'm prepared. I'm prepared for what's to come. Are you?
Oh boy, Lord!
Oh my goodness! But no, it is real, and you actually reminded me of this. You're like, Christy, you asked them.
You asked them. She said, I need to know. Okay, they said okay. So for me,
and I don't like cold. So that's the thing. Like, I can't stand being cold.
So mine is the emotions. I mean, I'm a very sensitive. I'm an empath naturally. Just I feel everything. I feel my way through life. If you even look up, like, the week that I was born, they'll give you, like, what, like, your like, you know, I sense, I know, I feel. Like, I'm very, like, every piece of me is about feeling. So, like, even when I'm doing readings with other people, like, I feel it. I can feel the inner, I feel your people. I can feel presence around me. But it'll happen for different people. For some people, it'll be like sparks of light. You know, like that lets you know that there's a spirit's guides, presence. So like, I mean, you guys like this. When I say listen to spirit, be open. Like something simple as sitting in your car, and your lights in your car start blinking. Click, 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 click. Nothing's wrong with your car. I need you all to pause for a second.
It's like,
Like, sometimes it's beyond, my car tripping. It's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. Just pause for a second and be like, wait, what is that? And if you allow yourself the opportunity to just ask the question.
Yep.
Just ask the question. That's it. And then be like, oh, no, my car's been doing this or blah, blah, blah. But if it just comes out of nowhere, and that might be a first sign.
Yep.
You know, all of a sudden you're watching TV or your TV's not on and it clicks on. And they're saying, and it's an ad about that has nothing to do with what you're interested in. What they're saying is save yourself by getting this insurance. But what you hear is save yourself. Like, just be open to it. Books falling off the shelf.
Yeah.
Y'all.
That happens.
You know what, you guys? I want you guys to go to our IG page because I know there's some of these things that we're bringing up. Has happened to people. Go to our IG page at Two Queens Crystal Things, and if you guys have experienced any of these moments where you're like, "Wait, what the hell was that?"
What happened?
Share it with us. You guys share. We're gonna share it with the group.
Yeah, because honestly, there have been times where, well, actually, this happened today. Because I was telling you about what I did earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And after what I did, like I've just been seeing all of these angel numbers. And I was driving because I had to take my dog for a wellness check and he got all his little shots today. As I was driving behind a car, I saw like 444. I was like, oh, okay. I peep you. I see you. I acknowledge.
Okay.
And I just say thank you. Okay, thank you. But like all today, I've just been seeing angel numbers, and I smile and I say, okay, I thank you. Whatever it is I need to know, please show me. But they are always communicating with you. I think we just have to pay attention. And there have been times where I will be someplace and I see a random feather.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's like, where did this feather come from? Like, there are no birds around. So just pay attention. Like, look at, it's the signs, the synchronicities, the symbols.
Yes.
There was one morning where I was this was actually what I was picking up from you. So I gave myself a reading, or did a card pull, and Odin was one of the cards that came out, and the animal that's associated with him is the crow.
I was about to say Odin is the Norse god of
because I have a connection with the Nordics.
She does have a connection with the Nordics.
Lord, Charles,
these spirits just be off the chain.
It is and you have to connect. Like, it's like this puzzle.
I like Odin.
Yeah,
I think I would. But
it said like
something back in the day.
Be careful. So when I pulled this card, it said, "Be mindful today. Like, watch out. Odin will he will show you symbols. You know, just be careful." So I'm driving and I see a crow.
Yep.
I haven't seen a crow like during the winter.
Oh my goodness, girl! You know I love crows.
I do too. But so I saw the crow. I was like, okay. I see you. Thank you.
Little sign, little symbol.
Little sign, little symbol.
So guys, just be open to, like I said, books falling off, sparks of light, your ears, like
my ear was ringing today.
Like your ears ringing, or sometimes you know how you'll yawn and your ears will kind of go a little bit of like mute something. Like if that just happens randomly. The temperatures in the room changing, feathers, you seeing repeating numbers. These are all signs for you to pause and stop and just allow yourself to be still for a minute.
Yeah. Because I do think also, and this is one of the reasons, so I don't own a TV. I think most of you guys know that, but I don't own a TV because for me, a television is a distraction. It's just another thing that will distract me away from being able to communicate and to receive messages. So I don't have a TV. I mean, but my boyfriend does, so I will watch the TV over there. But, you know, I think that there are a lot of things that will keep us distracted and almost serve as like a white noise over what we need to be hearing, but it's like we can't hear it or we can't see it because there are these other things that are keeping us from being able to. So I've just limited like the majority of my distractions. But yeah, I mean, look for signs, symbols. I mean, there are times where I'm meditating and I see flashes of light. There are times where I see angel numbers. Pay attention to that.
Pay attention.
What else do we have?
Let's talk about how to communicate with spirit, because I think, you know, we're talking about once you've called for help or, you know, said, hey, let me send my beacon of light up. We're asking, you know, how do you respond to that? So now let's talk about how do you actually communicate with spirit? How do you ask for help? How do you not feel crazy? Because, you know, guys, you know how this is. Especially when you're first starting. You know how when you're first starting out, you're like, so I'm just supposed to just talk out loud to myself? Y'all crazy as hell. So, okay. One thing to remember with spirit is that even when you call, whatever you call upon, okay, oh my goodness, okay. I'm like, let me stay. I want to stay. I don't want to get too deep in this, but let me just say this. You know, vibration moves energy. And our third chakra has the power of vibration. It's like one of the ways that we express ourselves. So oftentimes when we tell you to speak things out loud, it's not necessarily for the words, it's for the vibration of what you're saying to move energy in your space. So know that even when you don't see your spiritual guides and your team with your physical eyes, know that when you use your vibration to call upon them, that they are there.
Right.
So speaking out loud, using vibration. And there's another ways to use vibration, because I'm going to tell you another place we use vibration is in our sacral chakra. Sex, beats, music.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The putting the vibration out there.
Yeah.
So I want you guys
to. So interesting that you said that, because remember I told you I've been feeling like my body actually
vibrating. It's the vibrations, absolutely. And so I want you guys to start exploring more from just what I can see with these two human eyeballs. Start to feel it more and know that when you put the vibration out, that they're there. Okay. Chrissy talks about signs and symbols, like, you know, the numbers, feathers, coins, little things happen. I mean, this week I'm gonna tell y'all, like, like today I woke up at exactly 5:55. Every time I look at my phone, it is 1:11, 11:11, 10:10, 12:12. I just be like, what time is it? I be like, damn, every time. I called. I was paying, and I know what I'm going through now. So I'm just over here just going through it. But I was paying a bill yesterday, and I was like, I don't know how much it is. So I'm listening to it. It's exactly $111. 0 cents. I'm like, really? And I mean, like,
okay.
I literally, like, I'm on the phone. I have it on speaker. I just looked up, like, really? Okay, I got you. I hear you. Okay. So when you start to, and this is why it's so important to be in each moment,
right?
Because when you allow yourself to be in the moment, you can see. Wait a minute, hold on. That's the third time I've seen that.
Yep.
Why do I keep hearing this word? Like,
And to me, that definitely, like, that has a correlation with limiting your distractions. Like,
interesting.
I've removed my distractions so that I'm in a position where I really have no choice but to, like, acknowledge the shit that's coming before me. I feel like if you have all these different distractions, you'll just be like, oh, okay, well, all right, let me just go ahead and pay this bill. But once you get to a point where you don't have those distractions and you start to become consciously aware and you are being in the present moment, it becomes more obvious. It's like, okay, I see what you're saying. I see you. I acknowledge you.
Mm-hmm.
You may not know what 444 means for you specifically, and sometimes like I don't know what the number means for me specifically because I do think it is different for everyone. I just acknowledge it, like, okay, I see you're trying to get my attention. You have my attention.
So I'll tell you this. So when I see numbers repeating, I promise you this happens to me every time. I've Googled every number a gajillion times. I'm going to tell you honestly. But 222. The last time I've been Googling 222, the same message keeps coming up. Now, I know there are other messages for it, but that's because that's the message I'm supposed to get. So if I say angel number 111, like I see 111 all the time, like recently. Especially, and I keep seeing the same message. When I used to see it before, it was a different message.
Interesting.
So I feel like because I've opened myself up to I acknowledge you. Yeah. Tell me what I'm supposed to get with this. When I look it up, what comes up first is what I'm supposed to see. I guarantee if we did at the same time, what you see is going to be different than what I see because the message that you're supposed to get from is different than what I get from. Yeah. And I know for a fact because I've done it myself where I'm looking and I'm like, oh, I didn't know what 111 meant that too because that's what I'm supposed to get from.
And you guys know Mia writes down everything. So she knows, like.
I sure do. I bet,
March of 2017, I said. She writes down everything. I don't write down everything. I have to admit, though, like, since we've been doing the podcast and since we've been talking about the journaling, I have been doing better at journaling. But that's not necessarily. I mean, if my guides have something to tell me and they want me to write it down, then I'll write it down. But I feel like...
But I do that... Like, so, sometimes I write stuff and I don't know what I'm doing. So, even today I showed you what I wrote in October. Yeah, but like I said, I've been going through this thing. I wrote in October, not knowing...
She's been going through a thing.
In October, I wrote, this is the beginning... The beginning of October, I wrote, this is a 6-month crescendo to the culmination of things in 6 months. You're just going through a process. Didn't know that. As I just happened to be going back, like, what the heck is going on? I said, oh shit, it's ends in March. Now, mind you, Chrissy told you I didn't have about 8 readings this month.
I didn't say anything. I just asked. I was like, how many readings did you have?
Mind your business.
That's what she told me. She told on herself.
I sure did. But no, seriously. And everything is like March. But this is where we have to start trusting ourselves. And again, I'm saying this out loud to you all, but I'm saying it to myself as well. I already knew this. Yeah. I wrote it down. I already knew that I was going through what I'm going through. I told myself, but I got out of it. I lost my perspective, and now I'm in the forest. And I can't see the forest for the trees. And it's like, wait. Into the thick of it. Exactly. Ugh. Right. So going back to look, I'm like, oh. And that's further spiritual validation. Because I was listening at that moment. I was present in that moment. I just needed to be reminded. Like, baby, we told you about this.
Right.
It's like,
and you wrote it down. Yep.
So that part
truly makes sense. So, we talked about pain. So again, everyone connects to spirit and to their guides in a different way. And I'm sure that there are some people that are like, I still just don't do. Like, I've tried those things and I still can't connect. Mm-hmm. Try visualizing to help close the gap. Switch on to visualization to pretend that you, like, think about being in your inner mind's eye and, think about that unconscious part of yourself to connect with something that isn't so vague. And I think that's, like, for us as being humans, like, we need something tangible. Like, we need to be able to see it. We need to be able to touch it. We need to be able to feel it, smell it. But when you are working with the spiritual realm, it's not tangible like that.
Yes.
So for those who have
not at first anyway.
Not at first. So for those who have a difficult time connecting, just try visualizing. Like, if you're in meditation, visualize your guides coming in and being surrounding you.
You know what? And I also, like, another way to think of this is making it real in 3D.
Yeah.
So one of the things I'm working with is in terms of like a parable or it makes like okay. So hear me out. One of the things I'm working through is talking to my inner child. I have like there's some.
I had some shit come up last week.
Or was it your stuff?
No.
No,
Remember I told you how I felt like it's just.
I gotta tell you some stuff
Ooh,
too. I'll tell you.
So it took me a while to connect and understand what exactly that meant, because in my mind, I'm like, I've already had this conversation. I've connected. I'm like, babe, you good. We did it. I love you. Everything that you sacrificed for us to be here. You know what I mean? But what I didn't understand is that's not a catch and release and let go. But I couldn't connect to it until I realized, if I think about my inner child and what the things that I'm saying to myself and what's going through my head, if I connected to what if somebody was saying that to my daughter Jade.
Ooh. Mama Bear would have torn up some limbs.
Real quick, without no. And so when I connected my inner child to my child, it made, when that negative talk come up, it's like, no, now I'm fighting it. And it's like, little Mia needs that too. She needs to be like, hold on. Let me tell you what we're not about to do up in this motherfucker. She needs that too. And I wasn't giving that. But when I connected it to like, oh, something here in 3D, it's like, oh, I see you. So this is what you need from me. And but I was able to connect it to something here from my human side. So I'm like, oh, I get it now. Okay.
Yeah.
So connecting it, making it tangible.
Right.
If that helps you to see it and experience and understand what you need from something spiritual, that helps.
Yeah.
Like, and that's why people do candles and that's why a lot of people do rituals and ceremonies, just to make it tangible here in the 3D.
Something that you can feel.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And helps you to get there. It's like a little kickstart. Like, oh, okay, now I'm here. But
and I have a candle burning right now. And the thing with the candles is that you can actually look and you can see, okay, what does this candle mean? Okay, I see that this is showing up like it's all clear,
or it's flame, the wax.
It's a thing.
It's a thing, y'all.
It is a thing. But I will say that when you connect with something that isn't vague, so like as humans, like I was saying, that we need something tangible, we need something logical, because we're human, so we like to think with our logical brain. But when you're working with the spiritual realm, it's not logical, so you have to throw all of those things out of the window. Like, we both have professional careers. I have a master's, we're both very educated. Our logic, especially dealing with the spiritual realm, you have to let that stuff go, because 1 + 1 does not necessarily equal 2 when you're dealing with, like...
Baby. Come on, Christy.
When you're dealing with the spiritual world. So, yeah, you just have to, if you need to, visualize. But again, I just want to remind you guys, this experience is not logical. Another thing that we kind of talked about, well, maybe not, maybe we did. Relax. If you force it, because I was a forcer. I was like, it's not working. It's not, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing it wrong. It's just, I can't get it. I can't hear them. They're not here. I can't feel them. Then it's never going to come.
So can I tell you this? So think of it like this. You guys know I love me a good another way to think about it. Think about having sex. When you relax.
Ooh, I'm
really? I'm like, look, she's like, well, wait, okay, now what about that?
What are we talking about now?
When you are being intimate with someone and you allow yourself to relax and be into it, the experience is so much.
But see, when you're with a partner and you're able to relax, it's because of trust.
Exactly. Thank you. See, she took the words right out of my mouth. So
it's because of trust.
That's the type of trust you need to have with your spiritual team.
Guys, hear that?
Yeah.
Trust.
That type of intimacy.
Ooh!
Yes. And when you allow yourself to have that intimacy and trust with your team, what they do. Ooh, girl.
That's a word.
Think
today.
of it like that. Like that trust, that intimacy. Like, I truly feel that every woman is, men would be like, oh, I need a freak. Every woman is capable of being what someone would consider a freak. It's about the matter of, do I trust that I can relax and let go with you and be free? And so when you think about your relationship, think about this. Y'all, this is a team handpicked by you to help you in your human journey. And you're denying it, and all you have to do is open your spiritual legs. Wow. Big purr. Big purr.
Oh.
Open your spiritual legs to welcome healing and transformation and guidance coming from your divine self that you made for yourself. We sound crazy not welcoming them in there.
Yeah, no, that doesn't.
We sound crazy.
Right.
Like this. So this is a whole spiritual penis that I made.
Well, now that you put it that way, I'm willing to trust.
Like, I wanna.
I'm really
Let
too
me
relaxed
stretch.
to trust. Right.
Open up wide.
Right.
Seriously, you guys.
No, that is, yeah, that's true. And not only trusting your guys, but also trusting yourself too.
And trust yourself that what you created for yourself to learn and to grow, like, is exactly what you
Because
needed.
this situation that I've been in, especially with my job that's no longer my job, I have had to trust myself in like making the decisions.
Oh, yes.
Like making the decisions that I've had to make. I'm like, and
talk about stepping out on faith.
girl, and like the situation that I'm in right now, like today I was thinking about, I'm like, Christy, this is funny now. This is very comical because you created this scenario to learn to fully trust yourself.
Yes.
That's crazy. But yeah, we did that.
Absolutely. So.
Yeah. Takeaway.
Yes. What's your takeaway?
So my takeaway for this is to create space and time for you to really sit and listen. And that can either be in prayer, that can be in meditation, whatever that looks like for you. Carve out that time to really sit and listen. And it's funny because I posted this reel on meditating and a lot of people have been commenting on it. Oh, that's me. As far as like all the things and the thoughts that are going through your brain. You have to keep doing it and keep practicing it. And then it gets better, it gets easier, the thoughts become less. I mean, there are some days where I'm just like, what was that? That wasn't a meditation. But just, getting to a point where you're fully learning to trust yourself. But make time, like give yourself space so that you can listen.
I love that.
What's your takeaway?
So my takeaway is, I mean, honestly, it doesn't veer too far from exactly what you're saying, but I'll just add that trusting your spiritual team is trusting yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
no, you're right.
It's not a stretch. And I know it's hard for us as humans because I had big pause on this part. Trusting humans, they've let us down. Yeah. We've all been hurt before. And so when we're looking to trust something outside of ourselves, it's so difficult for us to do that. And what I'm telling you is that when we're saying trust your spiritual team, that's literally trusting you. And you know how when we mess up and we trust something or somebody that we know we shouldn't, and then we go back and we're like, oh my God, I should have just trusted myself. I freaking knew. Yeah. This is when you come back to that point, I should have trusted myself. I freaking knew. That's what your spiritual team is. They're like, yes, girl, we were right here just trying to let you know.
Right.
You know, you guys? So that would be my takeaway.
Like, even to this day, when I talk about my first ex-husband, I remember, like, praying before the ceremony. And I asked, like, okay, is this the person that I'm supposed to be with? And I heard it. Like, it was crystal clear. Wait. Oh, God, you're just joking. Wait. Like, I heard it. Wait. And I didn't wait. And that was me, like, neglecting what I was hearing.
I love that.
Which is fine, but listen to that.
No,
like,
seriously.
Trust it.
Because sometimes we need to have those experiences where we heard ourselves fully and we didn't trust ourselves to know that, damn, I'm trustworthy.
Right.
I'm trustworthy for me. So our temple work, you guys, is get out your journals, and I want you guys to start keeping track. We're gonna call it your spiritual dictionary. I want you to start keeping track.
Oh, you had me do this.
Of how, yes, because this is an excellent exercise, you guys, of how spirit
Really
talks to you, of how, well, you know, you've had those moments you're like, why do I keep seeing 111? Why, you know, at a certain time I wake up every night. Start keeping track of those things that you think are coincidences, and just write them down and say like, hey, what does this mean? And it's like you'll start to learn your spiritual language and how your spiritual team is speaking to you. So all those coincidences, those synchronicities, those things that you're just like, I don't know how this happened or where this is going, but I this means something. Follow those breadcrumbs, but write them down and keep a tally going, because I'm telling you, if you keep it going, because you'll go back and add something to it, you'll be like, oh wait, this just happened. And then all of a sudden, now you have an alphabet. Now you have a language for how you and your spiritual team speak. So start your spiritual dictionary, you guys.
Yeah. And I will say that that's something that that is something that has helped me. I won't say that I have a comprehensive dictionary,
but even if you don't, starting it though,
Yeah.
keeps, you know what I mean, like does something.
I will say that I have started tracking the downloads I get, the meditation, you know, the things that come through. The things that come through. See, this is what I have to deal with. No, I'm joking. But no, I mean, to be honest though, like that was very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the thing that I again want to emphasize, and I feel like this is like my 20th time emphasizing this, is it's going to be different for everyone. So
Yes.
how your guides
Yes.
communicate to you is going to be different than how my guides communicate to me. So for like, okay, so I'll use this as an example. Your guides are very detailed oriented with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like they give you, okay, so you're going to do A and B and C. My guides are just like, it's A, it's W, and it's Z.
You got it.
Right, because I'm just like, give me bullet points. Like, I don't need the details. Just give me the cliff notes. I don't like to be in, like, I don't like to have the extra. Just give me the bam, boom, bang.
Boom, bang, bing.
Boom, bang, bang. Just give me that. So it's really interesting. So it's going to be different for everyone. But again, that only comes with you taking the time out.
Yes, and trusting. And here's the thing. They will communicate with you the way that you ask them to. That's why I said that was so important for Chrissy to bring up. Like, hey, y'all, I'm in the middle of this. I'm kind of like, was that it? Was that not it? I need y'all to be super demonstrative. I need to see. And they're like, check. I hear you.
Yeah, so
So
I might have to have another conversation about the whole temperature thing. Like,
Yeah, okay. So I believe you. I know you're here. But you can renegotiate that, conversation. But you guys, like, that's what I'm saying. This is not, understand that you created this, that you still have power and control over this. You get to say, like, hey, this is how I want to communicate. Show me this, show me that. But you just have to allow yourself the stillness and to be open to do so. What's our crystal of the week?
the crystal of the week.
Bang.
It's cathedral quartz. I'm looking at this beauty right now, and it is. And I think cathedral quartz.
First of all, I just love the name. Can we say that?
Cathedral
I
quartz.
mean, like, get your life.
So the element is storm and wind. It's great for the third eye chakra, crown chakra, etheric chakra, and the transpersonal chakras, which I think go up to like chakra 12 or something. You know, there are other chakras outside of the 7 that we have. So the brief description for this particular crystal: cathedral quartz crystal carries the frequency of humanity's most evolved soul potential. They have been programmed by spirit entities to make it possible for human beings to access the necessary knowledge for raising their vibrational frequencies and evolving into the next level of existence. Cathedral quartz crystals act as a repository of historical information. They are said to grant you access to the Atlantean, Lemurian, and ancient Egypt and other past civilizations. They've been used with meditation. So when you use it with meditation, these crystals help
to create a safe, structured, energetic environment from which one can explore the higher realms. Also, working with this crystal helps to create the energetic link necessary for one to access, why am I saying that? Access the field of knowledge about the stone.
Why.
You said what?
I say apothecary. That's
apothecary. Yeah, I'm like access. And then you can move into the necessary meditative state and download the information. So this crystal is interesting because there was one period of time where I was working with it and I really didn't connect with it. But this crystal is, for whatever reason, I vibe with it. So I think I'm gonna work with it.
You know what was so interesting about this crystal?
What?
I haven't worked with this before, but I'm just recognizing. So this is like a point crystal, and like on the right, like do you see that all of these are like little small points coming, like the side. This is a very interesting. Like I don't even know how to describe this. It's a point crystal. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-point crystal at the top, but as the part going up to it usually is smooth, like on a quartz.
This is like a whole column.
It's a whole column of points going up to this point. This is does this work? Is this work with crown chakra? Yeah, like the way that like the energy. Ooh.
So for some, like
the
I think
energy
some
off
people,
of this is very like.
Yeah. Some people call it like candle quartz because
that's
like
beautiful.
when you burn a candle and the wax falls down.
That's what it looks like, but to me, the points are going up, so I get very much so like crown, third eye, like up here, like I'm sending them like this way. Yeah. Yes,
like that column of light up.
I might need to get one of them.
Yeah. And there's an affirmation that actually comes with this particular crystal. I open my consciousness to embrace higher knowledge and multi-dimensional awareness. This crystal is really cool. I mean, it's super interesting. I'll have to put it in our stories. Yeah, this is a really cool crystal that comes with like a lot of extra, lots of extra support.
Okay. I like that a lot.
What's the message for the day?
Okay, you guys. So, how can I say this? So this has been going on with us, you guys. As I mentioned earlier, we have, I personally have been going through some lessons and some blessings. And I have too. I mean, like it's been rough, you guys. I have too. But so what I'm understanding, what's happening with myself, and I think what's happening with a lot of people, is the journey back to self. We're really remembering the journey back to self. And so what I've learned, and I want to share with you guys about discovering your purpose, is I want us to stop looking at your purpose as a goal or an achievement, right? Your purpose is who you are. It's how you live your life. It's you and your purpose are inexplicably linked, right? So it's not something for you to find. Your purpose and yourself are one. It's just who and a piece of who you are. So this is why when we help people find themselves as a healer, and Christy can contest to this, we're helping them discover their purpose, because the more that you get that journey back to self, the more you're understanding, this is what I came here for. This is what I came to learn. This is what I came to teach. This is what I came to master. This is what I came to evolve. All of that process is a part of your purpose. It's not this one thing like, oh, my purpose is this. Your purpose is in living every single day, discovering what part of the purpose you are in, okay? Understand that no matter where you are in your life, even if you feel like I don't know where I am or what my purpose is, that you are living and breathing your purpose. You are the manifestation of your God self. So the fact that you are even here means that you are living and learning and growing in your purpose. So don't give up on yourselves. You're already there and you're exactly where you're supposed to be.
That's
all
our
right.
message.
That's it. That's all.
That is it, and that is all.
Ooh, child.
Okay, so question for the queens.
Yes. What we got? Questions for the queens.
So again, you guys, please make sure to send us your questions. So there was a question that came through from one of the listeners. Again, thank you for those of you who are listening to the podcast. We appreciate you guys. We do not take any of your messages lightly. The information, like some of the stuff that you all share with us, we know that it's personal, it's
seriously,
deep.
you guys, like, look, I'm gonna be honest with you. This whole month of January, I feel like all I've been doing is living and surviving through each week to get to recording.
Right.
Day. So when I say this is healing me, like it's like hopefully it's healing and helping y'all. I'm like, when is recording day?
Right, and I do apologize because we had some messages and I was like, ooh, I forgot all about it. Because, I mean, we just, honestly, I forget to check because I really don't think people are sending us messages like that. But then now I'm starting to find people are. Okay, so this is a message from, I don't know her name, and I'm not going to say it because I didn't tell her I was going to say it. So her question or her comment was to us. I have been listening to your podcast for the past few months, and I love you guys so much.
We love you.
We love you back. Thank you. I started the episode on spiritual discernment today. Would you guys ever consider doing an episode on how you relate your spiritual experiences and practices to Christianity or your religion? I am Christian, and I have had so many people tell me that my intuition or engaging with my spiritual experiences go against Christianity. I would love to hear you guys touch on this topic.
Ooh, child. Look, I just had to breathe.
What do you have to say?
First of all, I think that when someone is telling you that exploring the divinity in you is wrong, that should give you a pause, right? And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't necessarily think that's very Christian-like. And when I read what Jesus said,
that aren't Christian.
You know what I mean? Like, real talk, when I read what Jesus said, he was explaining how he was connected to the divinity in him and how to connect, trying to teach us how to connect to the divinity in ourselves, right? That we are all, like, he'll call it the Father and the Son, but really it's like we're all the sun or a ray from the sun. As you know, I love your analogy that you use. So when I look at the Bible, when I think about Christianity, I'm going to take it away from people's interpretations. I'm going to look at the Bible. When I look at the Bible, to me, I was confirmed at 13. I read the Bible. I've had, like, you know what I mean? Like, I studied this. When I look at the Bible, to me, it's written in parables. So there are a lot of analogies, and so it's not to be taken literally, and we have to be careful about who we allow to translate that for us.
Say that again.
So when I was meditating, and y'all know where I am in my journey, when I was went to go visit my sister for her 40th birthday down in San Diego, I'm up in the mountains. I'm like, ooh, perfect place to meditate. And one of the things that came up to me was, as I'm going, I'm like, what is happening with me? And it very clear, they said, you're on your road to Damascus. That's a biblical reference. And so when you think about what the road to Damascus is, it's a parable. It is an analogy for a spiritual awakening. When Saul, who became Paul the Apostle, went through his awakening, right? So if I took that literally, I wouldn't be able to relate to that.
Right.
But because I understand the way that the story is being told and unfolded is so that it will live lifetimes. Not exactly what happened, but what it stands for.
Yeah.
And so the road to Damascus stands for a spiritual awakening. So I wouldn't know that if I had not had my experience with the Bible and being a Christian. So I think that no matter what religion you come from, when you start to explore who you are internally and who you are in spirit, well, no matter what religion you come from, when you start to look for what it's actually saying to you, it's all leading you to the same place, which is back to you and the God in you. So that's what I got to say. What you think, Kristen?
Well, boom, bang on that one. What was the question?
Right. No, but you have some really good experience.
Oh, that
us.
was the question. The question for the queen.
Yes.
So one of the things that I told her. Sorry, the wine is kicking in. So one of the things that I told her is, and I shared this with Mia before we started recording. So I grew up in half a Christian household, but grew up Christian. And one of the things that I was told during my Christian walk was that I was a prophet. Like, they were like, you have a message, God is speaking through you, you connect to God, you have, like, you are a prophet, that is your gift. But in this space, we just don't call it a prophet, we call it an intuitive.
Exactly.
And so
yes.
I think now, like, so I'm not a practicing Christian, and the reason why I don't follow Christianity is not because I don't believe in it, in a sense, but it's because I believe that it puts you in a box to prevent you from really becoming and evolving into the person that you're intended to be, like, you know, and like having the power. Because I think that's another thing too, like, if, and you've talked about I think we've talked about this, like, if we all understood collectively the power that we each have, the churches would be out of business.
Yes.
Because ultimately the church is a business. It is a 501c3, like, if you think about it. So for me, Christianity creates blocks and boundaries, whereas spirituality, it allows for more, like, openness and ability to evolve and to grow. So I would just, I mean, I do believe, I mean, we have a friend who is a Christian and she goes to church and she still practices and does everything that we do, but it's just, you know,
it's just her approach to it.
It's her approach.
And that's what I mean. And you guys, like, I don't, so.
But I do think she hides the other side to her. You know, like, yes. I don't think she's wide open
that's
about
true.
it.
I do think you guys, we always say there's no one approach to this. I think that there is a way for you to explore who you are and figure out how powerful and beautiful you are. Man, woman, child, I don't care who you are, and still be, and use what you've learned as a stepping point to discover who you are. There's no one way to do this.
Yeah.
Like, real talk. It's just not.
And then again, the question was, like, how you relate your spiritual experiences and practices to Christianity or your religion. So, you know, we talk about rituals, like, spiritually. We talk about spiritual rituals. If you think about it, the same thing happens in the Catholic Church. The same thing happens in the Christian church, you know, especially when you're eating the bread and drinking the wine. So, I mean, again, I think you really need to be mindful of the words that people are speaking, because a lot of what is being said to us is to keep us from really understanding, like, our power, who we are, in fact. So, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna say do what feels right for you. Like, ultimately, this is your walk, this is your journey.
Well, I will tell you that what Christianity did do for me, it definitely made me understand that there is something bigger than me.
Really?
Yes. This is just my experience, that there's something. What it made me understand is that there is a creator.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, there's something. But what it didn't help me understand, what I had to learn once I went into this journey, is that is inside of me.
Right. Like, who am I in all this?
But it made me realize, like, this stuff right here, like, y'all, this ain't even, like, there is a source. There is an architect that created this. And then my journey made me realize, and I am. Ooh. I throw this lip gloss in my throat. I said it.
Right.
But that's what,
she said what she said.
I appreciate, like, and so when Spirit talks to me, again, that language, when they say road to Damascus, I'm like, wait a minute. I know what that is. That gives me a frame of reference.
Mm-hmm.
And if I hadn't had the experience that I had, I wouldn't even know where to look to find
That's
out
true.
what that really means
Yeah,
for
that's
me.
true.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's like the clue. Like, it literally like came across. I'm like, wait a minute, hold on. I know what that is. Do you see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's all in how you use it. None of our experiences are for naught.
Right. And I will
Everything
say this,
means something.
Yeah, and so I at one point I was a practicing Buddhist, and I will say one of the things with religion that I'm finding, and again, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I'm forever learning. But the one thing that I can say about religion is that there are bits and pieces of truth in all.
Yes.
But you have to go with what feels right in your gut, and going back to just trusting yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I say yes, ma'am.
all right, that's all
Live
I have.
your life.
Right.
I think we
Live
out of
your
here.
life.
I gotta
All
find
right.
my angel.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you
We
all for
love
listening
you.
to Two Queens and Crystal Things. You
You know
guys
what to
make
do.
sure to show us some love. We have seen some of your reviews on our podcast pages. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Follow if you have any questions. You can also email us at info@twoqueensandcrystalthings.com. Don't forget to follow our personal pages on Instagram. You can follow Mia at Wings Unleashed 444. You know what she's about.
Okay.
She's the
Okay,
truth.
I can do it. Today.
You
I
can
do
follow
it.
me at Christy R. Edwards.
Wait. Let me get her. Okay, I'm gonna get the business page. Y'all, I can do it today. Okay. Just give me a second. Christy has a business, and she sells metaphysical tools and crystals. She is a healer, and I want you to follow her business page at. Okay, breathe me in. At Sage House Apothecary.
Yes.
Sage House Apothecary.
Yes, Sage House
Did I do it?
Apothecary. Yes,
Oh
you
my
did.
God, I'm
You
a
did
big girl.
it. You're a big girl.
I'm such a big girl.
Yay.
Look at growth.
Look at growth. And then another thing for you guys, if you feel like you are called to the healing space, I have an angelic Reiki
Yes.
certification training for level 1 and 2 in April of this year. If you guys are interested, you can find the information in my bio. So again, if you feel like you're called to the healing space, I am doing an angelic Reiki certification. So thank you
guys,
all.
we have a lot of stuff coming up. Too.
We do.
I'm excited.
We do.
We need to talk about that too.
Yes.
Okay, guys, we love you.
Love, light, peace.
And so.
And so.
Until next week, let's get it.
Bye.